Sandusky is a city in the U.S. state of Ohio and the county seat of Erie County. Situated in northern Ohio on the shores of Lake Erie, Sandusky is midway between Toledo to the west and Cleveland to the east. According to 2010 census, the city had a population of 25,793, and the Sandusky, Ohio Metropolitan Statistical Area had 77,079 residents. In 2011, Sandusky was ranked No. 1 by Forbes.com as the best place to live cheaply in the United States. The city has a median family income of $64,000. Sandusky is home to the Cedar Fair Entertainment Company and its flagship amusement park, Cedar Point. Cedar Point has one of the largest collections of roller coasters in the world. The National Arbor Day Foundation has designated Sandusky a Tree City, USA. Etymology. The accepted etymology is that the name Sandusky is derived from the Wyandot word sanduster, water in water pools, or anduster, cold water. In his 1734 History of New France, Charlevoix transliterated the phrase as Chinooski. The name L. Sandusky appears on a 1733 map. Sandusky Bay is identified as Lac Sandusky on a 1718 map by Guillaume de Lisle. History. The city of Sandusky, Ohio, was established in 1818. Part of the city quickly enveloped the site of another prior small village named Portland, and eventually the city of Sandusky also encompassed most of the entire township that had also been called Portland. Some of the city was built on land formerly occupied by a Native American man named Oggance, and therefore the city is said to have been built upon Oggance Place. Prior to the abolition of slavery in the United States, Sandusky was a major stop on the Underground Railroad. As depicted in Harriet Beecher Stowe's novel Uncle Tom's Cabin, many slaves seeking to reach freedom in Canada made their way to Sandusky, where they boarded boats crossing Lake Erie to the port of Amherstburg in Ontario. Downtown Sandusky was designed according to a modified grid plan, known as the Kilbourne Plat after its designer. The original street pattern featured a grid overlaid with streets resembling the symbols of Freemasonry. Hector Kilbourne was a surveyor who laid out this grid in downtown Sandusky. He was the first worshipful master of the first Sandusky Masonic Lodge known as Science Lodge No. 50. It is still in operation on Wayne Street. Sandusky was the site of groundbreaking for the Mad River and Lake Erie Railroad on September 17, 1835. Currently, Battery Park Marina is located on original site of the Mr&Lee Railroad. The tracks that ran through downtown Sandusky have since been removed. Most of the downtown industrial area is being reused for other purposes, including mainly marina dockage. The coal docks located west of downtown still use a portion of the original Mr&Lee right-of-way. The English author Charles Dickens visited the city in 1842, and briefly wrote of it in his subsequent travelogue, American Notes. Said Dickens, who traveled on the newly constructed Mr&Lee Railroad from Tiffin. At 2 o'clock we took the railroad, the traveling on which was very slow, its construction being indifferent, and the ground wet and marshy, and arrived at Sandusky in time to dine that evening. We put up at a comfortable little hotel on the brink of Lake Erie, lay there that night, and had no choice but to wait there next day, until a steamboat bound for Buffalo appeared. The town, which was sluggish and uninteresting enough, was something like the back of an English watering place out of the season. The city was a center of paper making. The Hind and Dorch Paper Company was the largest employer in the city in the early 1900s. Geography. Sandusky is located at 41 degrees 26 minutes 48 seconds north, 82 degrees 42 minutes 33 seconds west, 41.44667 degrees north, 82.70917 degrees west, 41.44667, minus 82.70917. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 21.91 square miles, of which 9.73 square miles is land and 12.18 square miles is water. Climate: Sandusky has a humid continental climate, typical of much of the central United States, with very warm, humid summers and cold winters. Winters tend to be cold, with an average January high temperature of 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and an average January low temperature of 19 degrees Fahrenheit, with considerable variation in temperatures. Sandusky averages 28.4 inches of snow per winter. Summers tend to be warm, sometimes hot, with an average July high temperature of 82 degrees Fahrenheit, and an average July low temperature of 66 degrees. Summer weather is more stable, generally humid with thunderstorms fairly common. Fall usually is the driest season, with many clear warm days and cool nights. The highest recorded temperature in Sandusky of 105 degrees Fahrenheit was set on July 14, 1936, and the lowest recorded temperature of -20 degrees Fahrenheit was set on January 19, 1994. Local areas: Sandusky, disambiguation of historical locations in Ohio. Historically, Sandusky is a name that can refer to multiple locations in northern Ohio, often in historical documents. The word Sandusky was not clarified as to which specific location was meant, and any historical references to Sandusky might mean any one of the following locations, depending also on the date of the reference. List of locations, with approximate dates of usage. Sandusky, Sandusky City, about 1817 * to present, village, city on southeast side of Sandusky Bay. Sandusky Bay 1700 to present, early variants were Oat Sandurkit, Oat Sandosk, Lake Sanduska. Sandusky River 1740s to present, Fort Sandusky, various locations. From c. 1749 to c. 1754, a French fort on the northwest side of Sandusky Bay, or from 1761 until 1763, a British fort on the southeastern side of Sandusky Bay, or from about 1812–1813 a fort on the Sandusky River, near Fremont, Ohio. Lower Sandusky 1760s to, area or village at the city of Fremont, Ohio. Upper Sandusky 1760s, to present, area or village at the city of Upper Sandusky. Upper Sandusky is south of Sandusky, but common first impression is that upper implies north of. However, upper refers to upstream, as in upstream of Lake Erie by means of the Sandusky River. Upper Sandusky Old Town 1760s. 2. A Wyandot, Huron tribe village, about 12 miles northerly of the city of Upper Sandusky. Demographics. 2010 census. As of the census of 2010, there were 25,793 people, 11,082 households, and 6,415 families residing in the city. The population density was 2,650.9 inhabitants per square mile. There were 13,386 housing units at an average density of 1,375.7 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 70.4% white, 22.0% African American, 0.4% Native American, 0.6% Asian, 1.1% from other races, and 5.5% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 4.9% of the population. There were 11,082 households, of which 29.4% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 32.9% were married couples living together, 19.7% had a female householder with no husband present, 5.2% had a male householder with no wife present, and 42.1% were non-families. 35.1% of all households were made up of individuals and 12.1% had someone living there alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.28 and the average family size was 2.93. The median age in the city was 38.5 years. 23.9% of residents were under the age of 18, 9.3% were between the ages of 18 and 24, 24.2% were from 25 to 44, 27.7% were from 45 to 64, and 15% were 65 years of age or older. The gender makeup of the city was 47.6% male and 52.4% female. 2000 census. As of the census of 2000, there were 27,844 people, 11,851 households, and 7,039 families residing in the city. The population density was 2,770.5 people per square mile. There were 13,323 housing units at an average density of 1,325.7 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 74.50% white, 21.08% African American, 0.29% Native American, 0.26% Asian, 0.01% Pacific Islander, 0.97% from other races, and 2.88% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 3.09% of the population. There were 11,851 households, out of which 28.9% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 38.7% were married couples living together, 16.4% had a female householder with no husband present, and 40.6% were non-families. 34.9% of all households were made up of individuals and 13.1% had someone living there alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.31 and the average family size was 2.99. In the city, the population was spread out with 25.8% under the age of 18, 9.2% from 18 to 24, 28.5% from 25 to 44, 21.4% from 45 to 64, and 15.1% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 36 years. For every 100 females there were 89.4 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 85.2 males. The median income for a household in the city was $31,133, and the median income for a family was $37,749. Males had a median income of $31,269 versus $21,926 for females. The per capita income for the city was $18,111. About 12.2% of families and 15.3% of the population were below the poverty line, including 22.7% of those under age 18 and 10.2% of those age 65 or over. Tourism. Sandusky has a tourism industry fueled by Cedar Point, the neighboring islands, boating, and more recently by its many indoor and outdoor water parks. It is also noted for being the location of the Callahan Auto Parts in the movie Tommy Boy. Cedar Point. In 1870, Louis Zistel, a local businessman, opened a beer garden, bathhouse, and dance floor on the Cedar Point Peninsula. Over the years, the area became a more and more popular destination for relaxation and leisure. In 1892, the park's first roller coaster, the Switchback Railway, was built. A hotel called the Bay Shore Hotel was opened in 1899. Cedar Point's second roller coaster, the Figure 8 Roller Toboggan, opened in 1902. As the years went on, more and more rides and attractions were added to the park, including Midway games, Before 1914, the park could only be reached by steamboat. But in that year a roadway was opened connecting the park to the mainland and Sandusky's major roadways. The Cedar Point Marina, one of the largest on the Great Lakes, was completed in 1959. In 1964, Blue Streak, a wooden roller coaster, was built and named for the local high school's mascot. It is currently the park's oldest operating roller coaster. In the latter half of the 20th century, Cedar Point shattered countless roller coaster records with rides like Corkscrew, Gemini, Magnum XL 200, Mean Streak, Raptor, and Mantis. In 2000, Millennium Force was built, at 310 feet tall, and 93 miles per hour top speed. In 2003, Cedar Point debuted Top Thrill Dragster. When it was built, it was the tallest and the fastest roller coaster in the world. Cedar Point brought its roller coaster total to 17 in 2007 with the construction of Maverick. The park has been known for several years for having the most roller coasters and amusement rides in the world. It has long been nicknamed America's Roller Coaster. It has also been ranked the best amusement park in the world by the Golden Ticket Awards for 15 consecutive years. In 2013, Cedar Point added a 16th coaster called Gatekeeper. It broke records for the tallest, fastest, longest, and steepest winged coaster as of 2013. Islands boating May through August every year. Sandusky residents and incoming tourists flock to the neighboring islands north of the city, with many transportation options leaving right from downtown. The islands include Kelly's Island, South Base Island, Middle Base Island, and North Base Island. Themed parties are of a common occurrence in the summer season throughout Sandusky and on the neighboring islands, such as Island Fest, Rock on the Dock, and Christmas in July. Thousands and thousands of residents and tourists join in the festivities annually. In 2008, the residents of Sandusky hosted their first annual barge party, where boats from Toledo, Ohio all the way to Cleveland, came to dock up their boats together at the sandbar, just inside Sandusky's bay. The barge party ensues twice every year, typically in late June and late July. Water parks. The tourist draw produced by Cedar Point has drawn resort businesses and water parks to the area. A list of the major water parks in and near Sandusky are as follows. Outdoor Soak City, owned by Cedar Fair. Monsoon Lagoon. Indoor Castaway Bay, owned by Cedar Fair. Great Wolf Lodge. Kalahari. Maui Sands Water Park and Hotel. Rain Indoor Water Park located in Quality Inn and Suites. Transportation. Amtrak, the national passenger rail system, provides service to Sandusky. There are 4 trains daily, all arriving in the late night, early morning hours. The Capital Limited between Chicago and Washington, D.C. via Pittsburgh, and the Lake Shore Limited between Chicago and New York, Boston via Buffalo. There is also an ongoing study into the possibility of commuter rail to Cleveland. A Greyhound Lines bus station is located on Route 101 at Route 2 south of Sandusky in Margaretta Township. Several ferry boats and routes serve Sandusky. These depart from the Jackson Street Pier, except Jet Express, which departs from an adjacent pier. M.V. Good Time I, seasonal daily service to Kelly's Island and South Base Island, also provides special party cruises and charters. M.V. Pelly Islander, seasonal scheduled service to Pelly Island connecting to Leamington, Ontario and Kingsville, Ontario. M.V. Jet Express 3, seasonal daily service to Kelly's Island and South Base Island connecting to Port Clinton, Ohio. Departs from former Cedar Point Pier downtown. Education. Sandusky Public Schools enroll 3,775 students in public primary and secondary schools. The district administers 10 public schools including 6 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and 2 high schools. Other than public schools, the city is home to one private Catholic school, St. Mary Central Catholic High School. Both Sandusky High School and St. Mary Central Catholic High School participate in varsity and junior varsity sports. The teams are called the Blue Streaks and Panthers, respectively. Sandusky High's colors are navy and white, SMCC's are blue and gold. Media. Sandusky is served by a daily newspaper, the Sandusky Register, and 10 local radio stations. Bar Broadcasting owns and operates WCPZ-FM 102.7, WMJK-FM 100.9, WOHF-FM 92.1, WFRO-FM 99.1, and WLEC-AM 1450. Religious stations include WVMS-FM 89.5 and WGGN-FM 97.7, which plays contemporary Christian music. In addition to WHRQ 88.1 FM airing programming from EWTN Global Catholic Radio. Elyria Lorraine Broadcasting Co. operates 3 stations serving the Vacationland region, including WKFM-FM 96.1, WLKR-FM 95.3 and WLKR-AM 1510. Sandusky has one local television station, religiously oriented WGGN TV Channel 52. Sandusky's location between Toledo and Cleveland means that the city is also served by stations in both of those markets as well. Economy. Top employers. According to Sandusky's 2012 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, the top employers in the city are Perkins Township. Perkins Township is a township that lies south of Perkins Avenue, which bisects what is informally considered the Sandusky metropolitan area. The Sandusky Mall and the Sandusky Speedway are located south of Perkins Avenue, and therefore lie in Perkins Township. Perkins Township does not have its own main post office, so the township uses Sandusky City's zip code of 44,870.